One morning, I was sitting in the corner of the kitchen with the lease in my hand. Outside, raindrops were falling through the window, and inside I was storming. I had only a few coins in my pocket, the bills were piled high, and I felt completely out of control of my life. My eyes were fixated on the red writing on the lease. Past due. At that moment, a deep fear came over me. I asked myself, how did I get here? But even more frightening was another question. How do I get out of here? I put my head in my hands. I knew my life couldn't go on like this. But where to start? At that moment, emotions I had suppressed for a long time came to the surface. Despair, fear, and anger at myself. I was looking for a ray of hope, but all I could see was darkness. Just then, I got a call from a friend I hadn't spoken to in a long time. I told her everything. "Maybe this is a sign of the career you've been dreaming of," she said in a calm voice on the other end of the phone. These words kept echoing in my brain. Maybe this really was a chance to start over. That night, I made a decision. I was going to rebuild my life, to start somewhere, however small. First, I asked myself what I wanted to do. I had a long, forgotten dream: drawing. As a child, I used to draw for hours on blank sheets of paper and play games with my imagination. But in the rush of life, I had left this passion behind. Now it was time to bring it back. Graphic design could be a path that could lead me both to my dream career and to myself. I sat down at my computer, looked for free graphic design courses, watched YouTube videos, and started working with simple programs. At first, things were very difficult. Everything was complicated and intimidating. I kept asking myself, is this really for me? But at the same time, a little voice inside me kept saying, keep going. I was working for hours, every night, every day, trying to be a little bit better than the day before. When I finished my first design, I felt a spark inside me. Maybe I can do this, I said. As the days passed, I started working more and more. My graphic design skills were improving, but financial difficulties were still a fact of life. I started taking small jobs, designing a logo for a shop which didn't pay big profits but kept me motivated. Those small projects brought me one step closer to my dream career. Months passed. Both my technical skills and my confidence were growing. One day I saw on social media that a big company was looking for a graphic designer. I looked at the ad and I felt conflicted. On the one hand, I thought, this is a great opportunity for me. But on the other hand, my fears were holding me back. What if I'm not good enough? What if I get rejected? I put all these fears aside and submitted my application. A week later, my phone rang. I was invited for an interview. I felt fear mixed with excitement. This was an opportunity that could change my life. When the day of the interview arrived, I gathered my best work in a portfolio and set off. When I entered the office, my heart was pounding, but I told myself, you've come this far, now just believe in yourself. During the interview, I told about my work and my dreams. I shared my belief in myself and the steps I had taken on this challenging path. A week later, I received a phone call that completely changed my life. I got the job. At that moment, my eyes filled with happiness. I didn't just have a job anymore, I had a career that I could work with passion. As I sat at my desk on my first day at work, I thought about all the difficulties I had gone through in the past. Those difficult days had shaped me into the person I am today. I made a promise to myself, never give up, because the darkest moments are the beginning of the greatest changes. This process taught me this: no matter how low you are, everything is possible if you dare to take a step. If you have a dream career, there is no better time than today to start that journey, because life begins with that first brave step.